Welcome all of you to my YouTube channel, Animals and Pets with Partha. Today, I am at the Shankarpur beach, a small idyllic fisherman town, 14 kilometers east of Digha in West Bengal. Today we are here on a family trip, and we have brought along our 3-month-old Labrador. And he's also putting up at the same hotel with us. What I have decided today is to do an episode on how to maintain a small puppy once you acquire it, say around 6 or 8 weeks, and then what you should feed and how you should exercise and maintain it. I'll just for the newcomers who would like to know, I've been into this field of purebred dogs officially for the last 50 years, approximately, and for 40 years I've been running veterinary surgery and a clinic. I've been advising thousands of people on how to maintain dogs, keep dogs, and over these years. It has been a very pleasurable journey up to now to share my life among animals and pet lovers. There are, I would say, plenty of dog food and other things that are available in the market today, which in the earlier stages when I started off in dogs, we only had to depend on home cooked food. The dog food is a matter of convenience for the new people who want to have, do not want to take the hassle of cooking food for their dog. There are plenty of opinions that are there, but I would give you a sort of my own version of what I feel could be good for your puppy, and you could rear it. There are many options that can be explored, of course, but I have to go with my own experience, and that is what I'm going to share with you. This is our new Labrador, pet Goofy. He's just about 3 months old, and we just acquired him a few days back. He must be, this must be more than 100 dogs that I have already kept over the years. For the last 40 years, I've been sort of advising thousands of people on how to maintain, rear, and keep dogs. This vlog today that I'm recording is on popular demand that I should explain how one should rear a small puppy and what are his feeding and care and things like that. So we are now at Shankarpur, a small fisherman's village in the 14 kilometer east of Digha in West Bengal. The sea overlooking this area is, of course, everyone knows, is the Bay of Bengal. And we are here. Goofy is allowed in this hotel. Such a pleasure to have him with us, and he's enjoying our trip. I am now going to explain to you how to take care of a newly acquired puppy. This is basically for the first-time owners. I'm trying to explain things. This is not for the people who are experienced and have already had dogs before. They would have different ways of looking after. They have developed their own systems, their own theories on bringing up puppies. So this basically is aimed to guide the new owner who has acquired a puppy which is 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks old puppy. Now, firstly, what I would like to say is, in case you've not picked it up from a breeder, then the problem arises. If the breeder, if you have been to the breeder and directly procured the puppy, then what you would do is you would ask the breeder to give you a chart, a feeding chart, as to what the puppy was having at the time of you acquiring it from the breeder. So that is the feed that I would recommend that you continue for a little while and then gradually change to your own systems. But supposing you have taken a puppy which is not from the breeder. So supposing it's gone to a middleman and the middleman has sold you that puppy. So once the puppy leaves the breeder's home, the middleman would feed it on a convenient diet which they are used to keeping this puppy, so that but it would still benefit you to exactly know what the puppy was having before you brought it home. Now, having done that, say supposing you bring the puppy home and you're really not very clear about what the puppy was having. Once, supposing you are really not clear as to what the dog was feeding, and you want to sort of give it to be safe and not trust the middleman as to whether he's been able to tell you the correct feeding chart or not. In that case, if it's a small puppy, 5-6 weeks old, I would suggest you give it small feeds broken up into, say, 5 meals a day. But if you find it inconvenient, then at least break it up into 4 feeds a day. Now, if small puppies, I would recommend you start with Cerelac, the human Cerelac that you get for babies. Say you get wheat in the market. Wheat is what I have been using conveniently for decades, and have then you should keep the dog, that's puppy, on 4 Cerelac feeds a day for a few days before you slowly change into one of the commercial dog foods available in the market. I would suggest, if they breeds like Labradors and Dobermans and German Shepherds and all these, they are little bigger puppies. It all depends on the body weight. See, when you buy from the market pet quality dogs, they come in various weights and sizes. They can be tiny little puppies to, little better looked after, little more grown up, and maybe even, sometimes some are healthy. But in most instances, they're from commercial kennels and commercial breeding farms, where the puppies are moderately healthy, and I would suggest you give it very controlled diet. It is better to underfeed the dog for a few days and then slowly grow into the food, grow the food intake for the puppy, rather than immediately go into allowing it to eat whatever the puppy demands. The caution, the line is, you have to, it's better to underfeed the puppy than overfeed it, because if you overfeed it, then it will result in indigestion, and then it can result to vomiting, and once such thing starts, usually they are accompanied by diarrhea and all the complications. Most puppies bought from the market might land up having this problem. So you must exercise extreme caution if you are buying these puppies from pet shops and puppy markets. The homebred ones, which breeders hand over to you, you can then you exercise, you go through Google, you try and see what the signs of good healthy puppy should be, and then you ascertain. So when you pick up that puppy, you are able to see that the dog is feeding well and is very active. It doesn't have signs of sort of anemia, or you can turn the puppy around and look at its stomach and see whether there are any pimples on that, which would suggest that the puppy might have worms, or a puppy with pot belly. All these things can be observed if you are able to go to breeder's home and have the time. But if you are impulsively bought a puppy from one of these sellers, then of course you are running a risk, and I would suggest be very careful. So slowly you have to build the puppy into, you have to deworm the puppy, unless you are sure that the puppy has been dewormed. You know the breeder and is a respectable breeder and reputed breeder in the market, and if you are sure, then you can take the breeder's suggestion and go around deworming it at least as scheduled by the breeder for the first time. Otherwise, if you've acquired it from the market, you look after the puppy, and then when the puppy you find that it is full of vigor and energy, and slowly it becomes an active puppy, then you deworm the dog. The deworming medicine usually used is, there are other alternatives, of course, from different other companies, but I would suggest the most popular one, the Drontal puppy, which is 1 ml to every kilogram of body weight. So it is important that you weigh your puppy, and then with a syringe you measure the ml. So each kilogram means 1 ml. So accordingly you can compute the dose and deworm the dog first thing early morning in empty stomach. Once having done that, the next stage is the vaccination. And just remember, when the deworming must be repeated after 15 days once more. So you need to deworm it with Drontal puppy, which is the most known brand of deworming medicine available in the market. Of course, there are many other companies which have their own puppy deworming medicines, but I suggested the most popular one to you, the best known one, which is the Drontal puppy. The dose, as explained, is 1 ml to every kilogram of body. After that, you need to vaccinate the dog. The vaccination, the first vaccination that the puppy usually gets is protection against distemper and parvovirus. Then again, I'm suggesting you the most popular vaccine used for puppies is the Novivac puppy DP, which is an imported vaccine from Holland, and is freely available in the Indian market, even in small cities. Now, once having done that, then you you are in the situation where you must be shifting from the Cerelac to branded dog food. In the dog food, there are plenty of very fine products in the market for puppies. But here again, I will suggest only one single one for the time being, which is the most popular one and used by the majority of new puppy owners around the country, is the Royal Canin Puppy Starter. This starter comes in mini and the giant. The mini is for the smaller varieties of breeds, and the giant is for the larger varieties of breeds. The smaller means the Pomeranian, or maybe the Shih Tzus and last capsule and things like that. Whereas the starter for the larger puppies is the larger breeds, is the Dobermans, German Shepherds, Labradors, and Golden Retrievers, etc. Now, you have to build another basic thing. Now, this is a very vast subject. You need to. I just quickly run down how you should increase the dog food. The puppy usually attains puberty. A female would say come on to heat, first heat on 7 to 8 months. That is, when the rapid growth rate stops, because the dog has attained, the female has attained puberty. Now, once that happens, when it is attained its puberty and is able to reproduce, then the growth stops. So you have very little time for the puppy, takes advantage of that period where you have to really look after the puppy and look after his nourishment, give it a balanced diet and exercise and all the rest, so that you attain the maximum growth within the first, when the bitch comes on first heat. It is practically, the growth period will immediately slow down to a very minimal. The males also is the same thing. Around 7, 8, 9 months, they also that spurt will stop. And so what you will get is a very minimal growth after that, which is very negligible. If you are feeding your dog, want to feed your dog onto dog food, then you must study the literatures and things like that, and see that all the nourishment, your dog is getting proper nourishment. This is again a vast subject, and I need to deal with it in a different episode. But up to now, is you have to go into more and more vaccination. Better you consult, get in touch with a local clinic or a veterinary doctor and things like that, and look up on the net and see what is best for your puppy. Having said that, I leave it for today, but I would request you to please subscribe to my channel to keep getting my new, coming to know of my new episode. And then once you subscribe, then you please click on the bell button so that I can intimate you of all the videos that I upload. And then I request you to also like my channel and share it with friends in the animal and dog world, so that they can also benefit from listening to this talks on animals and pets with Partha. Till then, bye and see you soon again.